My friend got me this, by the way. It's so cute. Welcome to 2022, everybody. We're back. The Indie Book Club is back in action, kind of. Normally, this time of the month, I would be doing a book video, right now, but obviously I'm not doing that. If you've been paying attention to our company news, we have officially launched our editing services to the world now. It is out there and people are free to start taking advantage. So in an uncharacteristically optimistic move of mine, I'm assuming that I will be pretty busy this year with manuscripts, reading unpublished books and helping them become greatness down the road. And I'm anticipating I probably won't have the time to spend, to dedicate to the Indie Book Club books like I did last year. The first change that's happening is we're cutting the list down from one book a month to one book every 3 months or one book every quarter. So that means that the schedule for books this year will be a new book, a new video in March, June, September, and December. Now, hopefully, I will be able to read more than 4 books in a year. I anticipate I'll probably read more than just the 4. And if I do, and if I come across anything that I think is, merits a special endorsement outside of an Amazon review, I will post that to our social outlets. If you're looking for more recommendations than just the 4, go follow us on those outlets and you'll be able to get that further information, that one step further as far as book life is concerned. The second thing that's changing, sort of in conjunction with the rise of the editing services and the paring down of the list, is how these reviews are going to work. And primarily it is that they're not going to be so much reviews anymore. I'll give a little summary of, what my star rating is and why I gave it that rating. It will be more heavily focused on what has previously been the writer's takeaway section of the video. And that is more about the plot, the characters, the themes, how did this all work together? And that serves 2 purposes, really. That's so any writers watching the video can learn from how this book is put together, which is especially helpful if you've also read the book, so you know what the final product looks like. You can kind of see how the pieces come together, come apart, and then come together to build the whole. And it also gives you a sort of light version and little bit of insight into how my developmental edits work. So you can see for yourself the sorts of feedback, if you have a manuscript, what you would be getting if you were to work with me. So it's both, giving a little bit of a plug for these books and giving a little bit of a plug for myself. So everybody kind of wins. And then you get the information. So triple win. And just to put it out there, if this book has made it as far as to get a full video from me for Indie Book Club, you can assume I'm probably recommending you read the book. If anyone watched last year's May Indie Book Club, I don't really like doing videos about books I don't like. There's stuff to learn from them too, but mostly I just feel bad. Don't really want to leave reviews like that. I think we're all, working hard as it is. You don't need someone doing something like that. So I'm only going to be doing positive reviews from now on. At least of indie books. If, the opportunity arises to do some sort of takedown on a classic or a book that, nobody's going to care what I have to say about it and it isn't going to hurt their sales in the least, then, maybe. We'll see. That might be a totally different video series, not for Indie Book Club in any case. Third change, I think it's the third change. We'll just say it's the third change. Third change is because we have such an abridged schedule with only the 4 books, I'm not doing a preset list. It's really, it's not much of a list, it's only 4 books. So what I'm going to do instead is just at the end of one video, so the end of say the March video, I'll announce the book for June. So if you want to read the June book, so you can kind of follow along with what I have to say about it in the June video, you'd have to watch at least the end of the March video in order to know what you're supposed to read. Speaking of the next book, I am going to let you know that we do have a book for March. The author will probably sound pretty familiar. He actually, I think, was the March book last year. It is from the author of The Gopher King. This is Ashes in Venice, a vengeance thriller. And this book actually doesn't come out until March. So you probably won't be able to follow along with it unless you read it really fast. It's about 284 pages. It's not about 200, it's 284 pages. I'm looking at it right now. I will say that unlike The Gopher King, if anybody read that, the font is like more normal size. The Gopher King had a really tiny font. So it was technically a 200-page book, but it took more like 500 pages worth of time to read it. I think this one it'll go a little bit faster. I think you can pre-order it now on Amazon, and yeah, take a look at it. I'm about 2 pages into it, if you can see that, literally. It's pretty gritty so far, pretty noir-y, and I'm interested to see where it goes. So look for that video coming out in March. It'll be March 15th again, I think. Lastly, very small side note, but will probably be a bigger deal a little bit later on as we post the videos. I will be moving Indie Book Club from YouTube onto a new professional video hosting platform called VioStream. They are technically kind of a sponsor of Indie Book Club, so that is pretty exciting. I think my first corporate sponsor. There'll be more information about that later, but if you're watching the videos on my website right now, or if you're subscribed to the newsletter, then nothing really is going to change. It'll all be linked directly. The only thing that would change is if you're, for some reason, following my YouTube channel and not following me in any other way, then you probably will be completely lost. But that feels very probably like nobody's doing that. That is all for me right now. I hope everyone's having a good start to the year. I'm looking forward to really diving into these 4 books very deeply, probably more deeply than the books from last year, just because I'll have more time. And I'm really looking forward to starting to work with maybe some of you out there on manuscripts of your own. So take care, everyone, and we will see you again in March.